Quite frankly, I'm disgusted by the willful actions of some of the officers in our police department, and I'm appalled by the willful inaction of some other officers in our police department.
Milwaukee's police chief dealing with another controversy tonight. 4 of his officers charged today with crimes related to illegal searches of suspects.
It is our big story tonight. Crossing the line, an internal investigation into how some police officers were searching for drugs leads to stomach-turning allegations against 4 Milwaukee police officers.
We are going to name those officers. We are going to describe what they are charged with doing, but we have to begin by telling you this is pretty graphic stuff. And with that warning, let's begin with Jeremy Ross, who's live tonight at police headquarters.
But one officer in particular is accused on several different occasions of reaching into suspects' underwear searching for drugs. Court documents describe it as a violation of very private and intimate spaces. Milwaukee's police chief describes it as this.
The conduct alleged today is by any definition disgraceful. And it's brought disgrace to the Milwaukee Police Department, and a hard-earned reputation has been tarnished.
Police Chief Ed Flynn reacts to the results of a 7-month investigation. His department initiated the investigation into allegations of police misconduct focused on a North Side police district.
During the investigation, it became clear that the mistreatment focused on the actions of select officers from District Number 5.
Milwaukee County District Attorney John Chisholm spoke about criminal charges against 4 officers. 31-year-old Jacob Knight, 33-year-old Brian Kozelik, 41-year-old Jeffrey Dahlhoff, and 34-year-old Michael Vagnini, all accused of criminal misconduct related to illegal strip searches. Vagnini was the focus of the investigation, charged with 25 counts, including sexual assault.
Quite frankly, I'm disgusted by the willful actions of some of the officers in our police department, and I'm appalled by the willful inaction of some other officers in our police department.
The criminal complaint details 9 alleged victims spanning February of 2010 to February of 2012. Many of the allegations beginning with a police traffic stop, leading to a pat-down, and eventually what prosecutors describe as illegal cavity searches and sexual assaults.
Crime cannot be fought with criminality. Those who enforce the criminal law must obey the criminal law while enforcing it.
Now, early in this investigation, we learned of 7 officers and 1 supervisor who were taken off the streets while other officers were looking into these allegations. We can tell you that 4 law enforcement officers have since been restored to active duty. As for the 4 officers charged today, they have been suspended with pay. We're live outside the Police Administration building.
Milwaukee police officers accused of illegal strip searches and body cavity searches pleaded not guilty to those charges. WISN 12 News reporter Hillary Mintz tells us what's next for those officers.
Milwaukee police officers Michael Vagnini, Jeffrey Dahlhoff, Brian Kozelik, and Jacob Knight all sit in front of a judge for their arraignment Thursday morning. All waived having their formal charges read to them and also entered their pleas.
Enter pleas of not guilty.
All 4 pleaded not guilty, and prosecutors say Vagnini, seated at the far left, is the accused leader of the group. He's charged with 25 counts for sexual assault, illegal strip and body cavity searches, plus misconduct in office. The other officers face lesser charges, but prosecutors say they did nothing to stop Vagnini in the searches alleged since 2010. Earlier this month, a judge ruled all 4 men will stand trial, and a date has been set for April.
It's what I would have expected in a case like this. And again, it is up to the state to obviously have to prove their case, and normal response by defense attorneys on behalf of their clients. So nothing that I wouldn't have expected.
But does expect this case to have many motions filed before the trial, such as a change of venue, possibly even trying each case separately. The attorneys for the officers had no comment. The 4 officers remain suspended from the department and will be back in court next month for pretrial. At the Public Safety Building, Hillary Mintz, WISN.
4 people come forward claiming they were illegally strip searched by Milwaukee police.
Jermont Terry is live with the new developments in this growing investigation. Jermont?
Yeah, Mike and Shelley, Chief Ed Flynn said that he expected more people to come forward claiming that they were victims by these officers, and that's exactly what we are seeing today. Prior to MPD's commitment of saying that they would get down to the bottom of these allegations, people were too scared to show their identity and even talk about the issue. But now the victims that I've talked to today claims that they feel as if their complaints are finally being taken seriously.
He pulled out my pants, touched my testicles. They like eased down and they put their hands right between my butt. He pulled my drawers down and dug in my rectum.
The alleged victims keep coming forward. 8 Milwaukee police officers are under internal investigation, accused of performing illegal strip searches, including cavity searches on the streets. Were they wearing any gloves?
No, I didn't see not one. There was no gloves.
Kevin Freeman Jr. claims back in December he and some friends were violated during a traffic stop.
When they searched me, they like eased down and they put their hands right between my butt. And then I try to reach back and when I try to reach back and try to stop them, they just got to slamming me on the ground.
His father, Kevin Sr., describes how he equates the claims.
I was outraged because it's borderline sexual assault to me.
But this father did not file a complaint. Now he regrets that decision.
I just didn't want to bring more harassment on him.
Police Chief Ed Flynn says the internal investigation started after they received several complaints over a couple of years about the 8 officers from District 5.
I don't think it's 2 years too late, but I think it's been 2 years too long.
Freeman's son does not have a criminal record, but many of those making the allegations do.
They should get some type of punishment for this, man, because nobody on this world deserve to get treated like that.
But despite the concerns, this father still tells his son to respect police.
But you still have faith in the Milwaukee Police Department and those officers who are doing good?
I do. I think there are more good officers than bad.
And it's good to see that they are keeping faith, knowing that this is just allegations at this point. If you feel as if there's an angle to this story that I should look into, feel free to drop me an email at jterry@today'stmj4.com. Again, the chief expects more alleged victims to come forward, and ahead at 6, you're going to hear from the mother of an 18-year-old. She says 2 of her sons were violated in this manner, and she also tells me at the time she contacted Internal Affairs, and she also called again this morning to get her concerns out there to the police department. We'll have that angle new at 6.
Officer who conducted illegal strip searches pled no contest to 4 felony charges today.
Michael Vagnini lost his job as part of that agreement, but sexual assault charges against him were dropped. Attorneys for the alleged victims tell us their clients are outraged. Tom Murray is live at the courthouse with more on the story. Tom?
Well, Mike, this disgraced Milwaukee police officer reached this plea agreement where he will almost certainly serve jail or prison time, but he will not have to register as a sex offender. And that's what has victims' advocates upset. Embattled police officer Michael Vagnini in court in plain clothes. Prosecutors agreed to drop more than half of the 25 charges he faced for illegal strip and cavity searches.
Count 6, the illegal strip search.
No contest.
Prosecutors argue the deal spares reluctant, embarrassed adult men from testifying at trial and ensures Vagnini will face consequences. He will lose his job and could serve prison time.
I believe that I could prove that there was the intent to degrade or humiliate these victims.
But sex assault charges that would have forced the officer to register as a sex offender are dropped. An attorney for one of the victims calls that racist. All of the alleged victims are black men.
It is unconscionable that an officer who forcibly sexually assaults people for the sheer purpose of compliance and terrorizing the minority community.
We asked the deputy district attorney about that claim.
We look at the facts and the merits of a particular case and nothing more.
So can you assure the public that this case would be handled the same way regardless of the race of the victims?
No question about it.
Now, the officer and his attorney left court today without speaking to reporters. Sentencing is set for late June. Now, we just got a statement from Milwaukee Police Chief Edward Flynn. We will share that with you coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. For now, live at the Milwaukee County Courthouse, Tom Murray, today's TMJ4.
And a Milwaukee police officer who once worked to put criminals behind bars finds himself sentenced to 2 years in prison for illegal strip searches. WISN 12 News reporter Hillary Mintz shows us what the officer had to say for himself.
Michael Vagnini walks into this Milwaukee County courtroom Friday morning and kisses his wife just before he finds out how long he'll spend locked up for illegal strip searches from 2010 to 2012. Vagnini, a former 5th District police officer, pleaded no contest to 4 felonies.
Officer Vagnini has broken that trust. He's caused enormous damage, lasting damage, to his fellow officers, to his police department, to the criminal justice system, and most importantly, to the community.
Prosecutors say Vagnini set out to humiliate and degrade drug suspects, and this was ultimately a case about the abuse of power. Then the officer accused of being the ringleader of illegal strip searches took the microphone.
I would just like to tell the court that I apologize for my actions and I never set out or meant to hurt anyone.
The judge sentenced Vagnini to 26 months in prison, followed by nearly 3 years of supervision. A striking image, a career police officer taken away in handcuffs. His family left with no comment, but his attorney tells 12 News he felt the sentence was fair. So does the attorney for several of the victims.
All of my clients wanted Mr. Vagnini to be sentenced to prison. And I think they'll be satisfied that that has occurred.
Not only will Vagnini be spending the next couple of years in prison, he'll also never be a police officer again. In downtown Milwaukee, Hillary Mintz, WISN 12 News.